Good morning. Welcome back, or welcome if you just arrived. We're going to start this morning's practice in a child's pose. We're going to settle in a child's pose, maybe with your knees a little apart, or you could have your knees together. And just settling your bottom back towards your heels. And it may be for you this morning you'd like to bring your hands under your forehead, or maybe it just feels delicious to slide your hands away. But we are looking to have a connection between the forehead and something, some surface. So take your time to settle. If you were here for the meditation, maybe you can bring a particular quality of stillness into the beginning of your practice. Or you may still be asking yourself the question, and everyone here can ask the question, what is it that life most wants from me? And use your heart's response to that question to bring a very clear intention into your practice. What is it that life most wants from me? And that could be right now, this morning, or it could be more generally. And don't overthink it. And take a few breaths here to allow your buttocks to really soften and drop towards your heels. To allow the back of your ribs and heart space to melt a little. Your shoulders to soften. Your neck to soften. Really feel, if your palms are extended, really enjoy that sense of the palms in touch with the earth, with the mat. And begin to bring your attention to the experience of breathing. Where do you feel the breath? It may be that you're able to imagine that you're breathing through your forehead this morning. So your forehead is almost like a lung, allowing you to really soften in the face and the skull. Soften in the jaw, the throat. And then from this softness, beginning to walk your hands around to the left, but without lifting your right sitting bone too much, and keeping your head in between your arms. And if it feels good, taking your right hand over the left hand and having a little bit of an explore as you breathe into the right side of the body, all the way from the fingertips down to the hip crease and buttock. But with no force. Let's be very soft this morning. Let's allow ourselves, our bodies, our minds to gently wake up to the morning. With no particular expectation. Just for pure enjoyment, let's practice this morning. Just because we can, we're so lucky. And then beginning to walk your hands, first of all, back to the center. And then creep them around to the right, as far as they go without lifting your left sitting bone off the hip. And taking your left hand over the right, if that feels good for you. And dropping that left hip, that left buttock, and exploring the sensations in the left side of the body as you breathe there. Just for joy. Still soft in the forehead. And gently coming back to the center again for a few breaths. And if your arms are extended, turning your palms up now. And just noticing that there's a slightly different quality as you turn your hands up into the space around you. So receptive, so humble, so vulnerable. And taking a full breath in. And opening your mouth to exhale. And taking a full breath in. Opening your mouth to exhale. And a full breath in. And turning your palms around again. And pulling a little bit on your palms to lift yourself up to an all fours position. Hello. Bringing your knees underneath your hips. Your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread. You might want to bring an ujjayi breath into this practice, that gentle constriction of the throat, rasping ocean breath. As you begin to tilt the pelvis forwards, opening the front of the body, really wide hips, open collarbones, open throat. And pause before you scoop everything up into your cat. Feel a little bit of a pushing into your hands, a side waist lifts, the tailbone drops. And continue in your own rhythm to enjoy a little bit of waking up of the spine this morning and of your abdominal muscles. If you like to work with the bandhas like we worked last night, if you were here, you might notice as you exhale a gentle lifting of your pelvic floor and a lifting up under your ribs from the navel. But I'm not going to teach any more specifically now. The bandhas, just bringing them lightly into your practice if you know what they are. Making the breath the most important thing so that the breath moves you. You can breathe and then follow. It's like surfing the breath with this gentle movement. Let's not be too quick to come into rapid, stronger movements of the sun salutations. Let's take our time to wake up and luxuriate in just being alive. And then next time you come to the end of an exhale, flattening your back, just coming to neutral spine, and beginning to circle the hips, circling, maybe feeling the tenderness of your hips. Mine feel quite tender this morning, but also noticing the weight moving from hand to hand, from knee to knee. You might like to begin to just move around a little bit more intuitively into your marauding bear. As you feel into the side ribs, the side waist, and the whole of your body is involved now in this movement into the whole of your skin. You can bend into the elbows. And I'm going to give you a couple more tips and then leave you to play. You might like to take your hands a little bit further forwards so that you're able to maybe come down into a little bit of a cobra as you come over your thighs. You might like to come back to child. All I would say is you explore your body, as you explore your skin this morning. But if you're moving in one direction, make sure at some point to move in the opposite direction. And you might be making this very slow and intimate, or you might want to speed it up a bit. So it's entirely up to you, my lovelies, this morning. This is your practice. You might want to look over a shoulder or two if you're in your cobra. Just opening and sensing and feeling the body. And then coming to a still point. And we'll come to a few breaths in a version of Anahatasana of your choice, heart melting pose. We are going to come up and salute the sun shortly. I seem to be taking a long time to get there this morning. So your knees are underneath your hips. If you have any discomfort in your shoulders, simply bring your elbows down, palms together, and begin to melt your heart down towards the floor, really melting in between the shoulder blades. If that's uncomfortable, you could take your arms out. But most of you will probably have your hands mat distance apart, maybe even holding onto the mat with a little bit of a tug, a little bit of a pull. And then coming down either onto your forehead, your chin. Maybe some of you will be with your chest to the floor. So it's a real act of prostration, a real act of surrender. Can you come to a few deep breaths? Few deep breaths, softening, melting. There should be no pain. Come to a different version of this pose if you have any pain in the shoulders. So good for stiffness in the mid-back. And then with a little bit of engagement in your abdomen, gently slide yourself back to your choice of child's pose for a few breaths before we come up. Allow the whole body to soften. Maybe you feel a little bit of warmth at the back of your ribs after Anahatasana. How is the quality of your breath right now? What do you feel in the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands? Can you feel your aliveness this morning? And then from here, sliding your hands forwards, coming to an all-fours position, curling your toes under, and coming into a gentle downward dog with no hurry to straighten your legs, but firming up your arms, hugging the tissues to the bones. As you widen in the hips and take your hips, your sitting bones, up towards the ceiling. Maybe in your own time, beginning to straighten one leg at a time. Full breaths. If you were here in the breathing meditation, you might want to revisit that sense of the abdominal breathing and the rib cage breathing. A sense of expansion in all directions, both on the inhale and the exhale today. Sounds slightly counterintuitive. And then looking in between your hands, and walk or step your feet forwards. And inhaling to a half forward fold, so you're straightening your legs. You can slide your hands as far up the shins as you like to find length in the spine. And exhale here, really tuning into the connection between your feet, hugging your leg muscles to the bones. And inhale, find more length from the top of your head out through your sitting bones. And then exhale, fold in again, and you can bend your knees now. Bringing your palms together, pushing into your feet. Inhale and lift up into a vertical position. Exhale, hands to your heart. And taking a moment to feel the body. To feel the earth beneath your feet. And we'll come into some rounds, first of all, of variations on traditional Surya Namaskar. Breathing in, lift. Maybe take your pelvis slightly forwards. Breathing out, straighten and come all the way down. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, take your right foot back and drop the knee down. And bringing your palms together again, inhale. Coming up. Slight pushing forwards of that right thigh. And on the exhale, find your rhythm into plank. And take a breath in your plank. And then exhale, drop your knees and roll all the way down over the front of the body. We're in no hurry. Roll your shoulders to your ears and inhale, peel the chest up. Feel the muscles on your back. Head comes back last. You don't need to come high. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, push up to all fours, curl your toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Looking in between your hands, and you can either step your right foot forwards or lift the leg first into three-legged. Bring the left knee down. Palms come together and inhale, lift. And exhale, hands down. Lift the back knee and inhale, step lightly to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Bringing your palms together, inhale. Come all the way up to breathing in the prana of the morning. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Inhale, coming up. Little bit of a back bend if that's available, and exhale, pour yourself down. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhale, take a step back with your left foot, bring the knee down. This time let's keep our arms apart as we breathe in. Feel into the fingertips, alive in the fingers. And breathe out, bring yourself straight to plank. Take a breath in. You can either come down the way you came before or drop your knees, your chest and your chin. And inhale, slide the chest forward, knees back, and peel up into a little cobra. And breathe out, come down. Breathing into all fours, exhale, downward dog. Looking forwards and either stepping your left foot or lifting it up first for three-legged. And then stepping it through, bringing the right knee down. Inhale, lift up your arm. And exhale, hands down. Lifting the back knee, and on an inhale, step lightly forwards to a flat back. Exhale, come down. Now bring your palms together and inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Taking a breath here before we come to another variation. Inhale, let's make the movement about the breath, not about an idea of what you should be looking like. Breathe out, come down. Breathing into a flat back. And then step your right foot back again. Bring the knee down. And planting your right hand down. Breathe in and take a little twist to the left and breathe out here. So we take some time here to explore the rooting down through the right hand and the reaching for the sun, the stars with the left. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, plant that left hand down, come to plank. Take a breath in your plank. Drop your knees and roll over or bring your chest, chin to the floor. Slide into a mini cobra, inhale. Exhale, come down. Inhale to all fours and a downward dog. And looking in between your hands, you can either step to the right foot or lift the leg up behind you. Notice I'm lifting my left heel as well to give me more movement, more purchase here. Right foot comes forwards, left knee comes down. Planting the left hand down. Inhale, take a delicious little twist to the right now. Really rooting down in the ball of the right foot as well as the left hand and expand up. Little bit of a spin here. Inhale. Exhale, plant the right hand down. And then inhale, step lightly forwards to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Palms come together. Inhale. Coming up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, step your left foot back. Knee comes down. And you have a choice here. We're going to twist again, planting the left hand down. The choice is whether you want to lift the back knee now to more of a twisted lunge, but you don't need to. The knee could be down. And let's take a couple of breaths and really brighten the chest, the armpit, the right arm all the way to the palm and the fingers. Can you feel the day? Can you feel your right shoulder blade carving into your spine? And smile. Breathe in. Breathe out, find your plank. Take an extra breath in here. And you come down one of the ways you've come down, or maybe come down straight as a sit. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale, come down. Curl your toes under. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward dog. And then maybe lifting your right heel a bit so you can take the left leg up. But you don't have to do this. You could simply step the left foot forwards. Bring the right knee down to begin with. Plant the right hand down and decide if your twist is going to have the right knee up or down as you come to the left. And you enliven into that left rib cage, the arm, the hands, the fingertips. At the same time as staying very rooted down through the left foot and the right hand. Explore that relationship. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale gently to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Palms come together. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down. We'll take one more round of traditional Surya Namaskar variation. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, take your right foot back. Knee comes down. And then inhaling, take your left hand to your knee, your right arm lifts. And exhale, come over to the left a little bit of core engagement here. Maybe you lift the back knee if you fancy, but there's no need to. It's a lift of the pubic bone, a dropping of the tailbone, and breathing into the side body now. And then whether your back knee is up or down, lifting both arms up into Anjaneyasana or Ashta Chandrasana. Inhale. Exhale, find your plank. Inhale here, and now choose your way down. Inhale to Cobra, make it about the breath. Exhale, Downward Dog. Choosing your way to bring the right foot forwards, maybe lifting the leg up and stepping it forwards. And having a choice of the back knee down or up, maybe starting down, bring your right hand to the knee. Breathe in, lift the left arm, and then explore that lovely side stretch as you come over to the right. Possibly lifting the back knee for a few breaths. So try not to force this. There's so much of an urge to go deeper, to go further. Only competitive with ourselves. And I'm including myself in all of that. And then whether your back knee is down or up, lifting both arms up. Inhale. And then exhale, hands down. Soften in the back knee and step lightly forwards. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Palms together as you inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a breath in here. Hope you're feeling more alive now. Breathe in, arms up. And breathe out. Fold all the way down. And breathe into a flat back. As you breathe out, take your left knee back, left foot back, and bring the knee down. We'll take a slightly different version here. Inhale, lift both of your arms, but then twist your torso to the right and release your arms out. So you're looking over your right fingertips, and you might lift the back knee, you might not. So it's a little bit of a twist. A little bit of a balance here. Can you smile and soften in the eyes? And then whether your back knee is down or up, sweeping the right arm down by the body. And coming back to either Anjaneyasana or Ashta Chandrasana. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Take a breath in your plank. Choose your way down. Exhale. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, Downward Dog. And maybe lifting the left leg, maybe not. Inhale. Bring the foot forwards. Exhale here. Starting with the back knee down. And inhale, lifting both arms. Twisting your torso to the left and releasing the arms. Really drop the shoulders away from the ears. Eyes over your left fingers if you can. Maybe lift the back knee, but there's no need. And come to a settled breath here. Settled breath. And then sliding the left arm down by the side of the body, lift both arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step lightly to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Bringing your palms together, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Let's take a moment with the hands over the heart space, maybe one hand on the belly. Eyes closed perhaps. Feel the heartbeat. Feel your pulse. The earth beneath your feet. And notice if there's any change in how you feel now this morning. And coming to the front of your mat. Feet parallel. Inhale, arms up. Find length in the side body, and then exhale, sit back into your Utkatasana. And we'll take a few breaths to build strength into the thighs here, lifting the arms up by the ears. And rather than dipping in the lower back, really tuck the belly in, tailbone pulling down, sideways back. Your eyes could be looking down or up in between your hands, soft gaze. And find length in the side body as you really burn in the legs. Don't stop breathing. Inhale. And then exhale, pour yourself forwards. Inhale to a flat back. And then either step or jump to your plank and take a breath in. And breathe out, choose your way down. And breathe in, peel up. And breathe out, find your downward dog. And plant your left foot down at 45 degrees. And step your right foot forwards for warrior one. So not walking a tightrope. Nice distance horizontally between your feet. And from the ground, lift up first with your arms above you. Lifting the pubic bone, tailbone drawing down the back leg. And take a couple of breaths here with this sense of groundedness and expansion up and out all at the same time. Maybe a little bit of a back bend. Now you have a choice, you could stay here. Or you might like to take your arms out and then behind your back to interlace your hands. Rolling the shoulders up and back. We'll come into my favourite humble warrior. Inhale first of all to really brighten the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then from the heart, exhale, pour forwards, bringing your arms with you. And take a couple of breaths here. You can even press the heels of your hands together and move the upper body around a bit. You could come round to the long side of your mat a little bit and then back again, whatever feels good. Just don't stop breathing. Relaxed and soft in the neck and the head. Inhale. As you exhale, drop your hands first to your lower back, then around the foot, lift the back heel, slide to plank, inhale. Exhale, come down your way. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, downward dog. Take the right foot down 45 degrees, step the left foot forwards. From the ground, come up, warrior one. Exhale here. Maybe find a little bit of a back bend and enliven from the feet up to the fingertips. Every cell of your body alive now. And you could stay still exploring this quite enlivening warrior one. Or you might like to come into humble warrior. Roll your shoulders, interlace your hands, breathing in, chest open, and leading with the chest. Breathe out, come down, cascade into your humble warrior. And then feel free to move around when you're down here. Feeling what this is doing for your shoulders, your mid-back. Legs are stable. Breathing fully. One more breath in. And then dropping your hands. Sliding to plank. Taking a breath in your plank and choosing your way down to the mat. Inhale, peel the chest up. And you have a choice now of exhaling into a downward dog, or coming like I'm going to into a child's pose. To just come back to the breath and come back to softness. If you are in a downward dog for a few breaths, eventually you can join me and others in child's pose. Maybe palms come together over your head. A little bit of a press into the heels of your hands, press the elbows into the floor. And come back to breathing through your forehead. And softening and melting and feeling the effects of the practice so far. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? How now is the quality of your breath? I nearly said how now, brown cow, as my mother used to make us say. Bit embarrassing. Elocution lessons. I hope none of you suffered those. If your hands are together over your head, just releasing them back with the palms up. For a few more breaths to enter into that state of receptivity. And then very gently, coming to all fours. I hope you're all okay. And we'll take a few kind of melty poses close to the mat for the final 15 minutes or so of this practice. So we're going to start with quite a simple pigeon. If you know that your right knee is in any pain at all, come onto your back and take your right ankle over the left knee and draw your legs in towards you. Or slide the right knee forwards over to the right side of the mat. Your right shin can be either quite diagonal or maybe coming up more in line with the end of the mat. You really don't want to tolerate any pain in the knee. And just check that your left leg is extended straight behind you. You might like to curl the toes under, pull it back a little bit more. So you should be feeling this on the right side, the buttock, the hip, all the way down the side of the thigh. And pressing into both knees, lift the pelvis away from the floor. Push into your fingers, inhale. And then exhale, melt down a little bit more. And take a breath in here to really puff up your pigeon. Front, back and sides of your chest, right into your throat. And you can then exhale and come down to sleep. And some of you will feel very little at all. And some of you might feel quite intense sensation on the right. As long as there's no pain in the knee, intense sensation is okay. And can you breathe with it, go right into the center of it and out the other side. Use your exhalations to explore all the way through the whole range of sensations. Softening in the forehead. And gently pushing into your hands to bring yourself up. And if you're on your back, rolling over. And then pouring yourself over onto the right buttock and bringing the left leg around for Janushirshasana. You need to be feeling into both sitting bones, and if you're not, please sit up on something, a cushion or a block. And draw your left toes towards you to engage the left leg as your torso comes round to the left. And then breathe and lift up to find that beautiful length that we've been developing in the side body. And then exhale, come down your way as far or as little as you want. So I'm choosing this morning to cross my wrists, to hold on to either side of the feet with crossed wrists. You could have your hands out on either side. And for a few breaths, explore a length in the spine on the inhale and a melting and curling down on an exhale. Keep releasing down through that right hip. Breathe. And if for you forward folds are challenging, and they are for some people, can you stay where you are and explore your experience of the pose as it is right now? That's what we're all doing anyway. There's absolutely no need to come particularly deep. And then gently lifting the chest and taking your right hand to your hip. Now you may be holding onto your left big toe, or you could be higher up the leg. But wherever you are, I want you to swivel the chest around and the shoulder around. So you're spinning the torso around to the right, looking over the right shoulder. And you're going to lift up the right arm, first of all to vertical, looking for as much length in the side body as you can find. And then reaching, but without striving. Be more tentative in your reaching over towards the left. And some of you will be able to hold the foot, but the point isn't to rock forwards. The point is to keep this opening in the side body. So if you need to, you could take your hand behind your head. But there's a temptation sometimes to drop the chin into the chest. We're trying to keep the skull in line with the spine here, whilst releasing down through the right hip, and breathe into the right side of the body. What a beautiful pose. Can you feel the right side of your lung? The right hip, the right underarm, all the way to your fingers. One more breath in. As you breathe out, take your right hand down to the floor and breathe in to push yourself up slowly. I hope you feel as good as I do. And then sweeping your left leg over the right leg for a little twist. So if you're all rucked up like this, release the right leg out in front of you like that. You need to feel both sitting bones. Draw your left knee in towards you. And you have a choice of wrapping the right elbow around the knee or taking the upper arm on the outside of the knee. And then breathing and lifting the left arm. And then take a little twist to the left. So your abdomen, your belly comes right over the left thigh, knowing that your internal organs are being massaged by this twist. It's wonderful for the digestion. And every time you breathe in, lifting and lengthening. And every time you breathe out, drop into the shoulders, receive more twist around to the left. And smile your way in, but without pushing. Beautiful. One more breath in. And then breathe out back to the front. And very briefly, let's take Gomukhasana legs, stacking the knees on top of each other. Feeling that drawing in of your hips towards the center. Maybe staying upright, maybe exploring what it feels like to lean forwards. A few breaths here. Really melting into your inner thighs, melting into your buttocks. Releasing the back of the head and the neck, shoulders. Very still now. That's all we have time for on that side, although I would like to stay longer. We need to take that sequence to the other side. So if you would like to unravel your legs, bring yourself to all fours or onto your back for pigeon on the left. If you're taking pigeon on the left on the back, take your left ankle over the right knee and bring your legs in towards you. If you're on your front, your left knee comes out to the left. Slide your right leg lovely and straight behind you. And pressing into both knees to lift the pelvis up a little and then reposition yourself and melt. No tolerance for pain in the knee. And breathing in, really puff up the front, sides and back of your chest. And then come down for a little bit of a sleeping pigeon. Noticing it's quite likely to be different on each side. And letting go, particularly letting go in the jaw, and see how this allows you more access to softness in the hips. Observe and breathe. If you're on your back, rolling over. If you're on your front, coming up and straightening your arms. Coming over onto the left buttock so that you can extend the right leg out for Janushirshasana. Obviously, you can always bend this knee if necessary. I should have said that on the other side. Or pulling your toes towards you and bringing the torso around to the right. Pressing down through your hips and sitting bones. Breathe in, lift up, find length. And exhale, come down your way over the right leg. I'm crossing my wrists, but you don't need to do this. And take a few breaths. Every in-breath is a lengthening of the spine, and every out-breath is a curling in and releasing down. So many versions of Janushirshasana. Not all of them would invite you to curl down at all. But that's what we're doing in this one. What do you feel and where do you feel it? Stay alert. Stay alert. And then taking your left hand to your hip, maybe you're holding onto your right big toe or higher up the leg. And begin to swivel the torso around to the left, drawing that shoulder back, spinning the chest. Breathe and lift up the left arm. And then breathe out, come over as far as is right with you. It might be hand behind your head, but not taking your chin into your chest. And explore sensation now as you melt down into the left hip and you breathe into the left side of the body and smile. Notice how the whole body is involved, not striving but alert and involved from your toes to your fingertips. And how is the quality of your breath right now? One more breath in, and then you drop your left hand to the floor, breathe out. Breathe in, come all the way up. I'm in a little bit more of a hurry than I'd like to be. Bring your right foot over and either extend the left leg out in front of you or bring it round further to the right. So you can feel both sitting bones. And either wrap your left elbow around the knee like I'm going to, or you might like to take the upper arm around the side of the knee. And lift up the right arm, find length, inhale, and then find a twist to the right. Exhale, so you're really hugging the right knee in towards you as your belly moves over, your internal organs move around to the right. Your eyes over the shoulder. And every breath in, extend the spine. And every breath out, receive a little bit more of a twist. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, sliding the shoulder blades down the spine. Breathe. Morning constitutional. One more breath in. Breathe out, bring your head back first. And then stacking your right knee over the left, whether or not your left leg is extended. And really rooting down in the sitting bones, breathing in. You can stay up. Or you can gently bring your torso forwards. And take a few breaths to simply melt into this Gomukhasana legs. It's quite a condensed pose, drawing inwards. Soften and breathe and observe. If you really observe, you'll notice tiny places where you're contracting. And just by noticing, you can invite the softness in there. So interesting. And then we gently come up. And just one very neutral pose before we come down for relaxation, just because we've had all this kind of asymmetry and crossing over. We're going to take our legs open, and you might want to take your legs super wide. Today I just want to keep mine at about 45 degrees, whatever feels right. Find your sitting bones. Take a breath in to find length. And then breathe out, come forwards, either holding your feet or not. You don't need to come far, but keep pushing your sitting bones out behind you, navel to the spine. And just breathe into the simplicity of this forward fold. Maybe deepening your breath now a little, especially the exhalations. And if you know that you have time for longer practice, you could stay here longer. But I'm going to invite you out now. Very simply bringing your hands behind you, tiny little lift of the chest in the back bend. Bringing your feet in, tiny lift, just to reintegrate the core, lift the sideways, lift the hips. Feel the strength and the stability. Draw everything in, the inner thighs, the hips, the shoulders. Inhale. And then exhale, drop yourself down and come and enjoy a relaxation. So I've come to the end of the teaching time, which is just typical of me, but I hope you have time before rushing into your day to have at least 5 minutes, hopefully 10 minutes in this resting pose. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to get up and read a poem for the final minute, but I just want you to completely let go of any control and drop right into sensation and a sense of enhanced being that you maybe take into the rest of your day. Will be here for half an hour at lunchtime, 1:15 relaxation, and I'm teaching a shoulder, upper body, neck opening yin sequence tonight at 6, which will be lovely. So hope to see some of you there. I'm going to read the same poem that I read at the end of the meditation for those of you who were there for that. It's a poem that Debbie sent me from co-housing. It's a poem by Hafiz. You carry all the ingredients to turn your life into a nightmare. Don't mix them. You have all the genius to build a swing in your backyard, for God. That sounds like a hell of a lot more fun. Let's start laughing, drawing blueprints, gathering our talented friends. I will help you with my divine lyre and drum. Hafiz will sing 1,000 words you can take into your hands like golden saws, silver hammers, polished teakwood, strong silk rope. You carry all the ingredients to turn your existence into joy. Mix them. Mix them. Lots of love to all of you. I hope you stay resting. I hope you have a wonderful day.